I don't think I've really told anyone this. So this is an exclusive for you if you want. There you go.
Let's go.
But like,
All right. Welcome to the Counter Shots podcast, the podcast where we talk Counter-Strike and have a few beers while we are at it. With me, I have Trav CS, a professional Counter-Strike commentator who worked with tournament organizers such as ESL, StarLadder, CCT, Fissure, and has recently been an analyst on the Thunderpick World Championship. So I think that's a very impressive resume, and I'm very happy to have you here. So, sadly, I will be the only one drinking here, because Trav doesn't drink. He is a wiser man than I am.
we've got a Thunderpick flask.
Oh, hey, look at that!
At least I can at least have something, right? So do you want to go cheers?
I say cheers, man.
Go for a
Cheers.
cheers. There we go.
I'm cracking open my beer here. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. How did you get this gig of being, an analyst? Because you are a commentator first, and then you're like analyst on a big tournament where on LAN. So how did that happen?
It's kind of a weird one because I do feel like, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into maybe a bit later in the podcast about how I kind of started commentary and all that. But yeah, when you're working from home and trying to get better at what you do, mostly you're casting, right? Mostly it's online tournaments where you're either solo casting or with a duo. Especially at the beginning of your career, you're mostly solo casting, I feel, either on your personal stream or whatever. But CCT in particular and Thunderpick have changed things in recent years where they actually have added an analyst slot onto their like playoffs of their online series tournaments. So it's 3 people on camera rather than just the 2 commentators. And I think maybe over time, the people who are over at CCT and Fantasy Expo and Grid Esports who ran the Thunderpick World Championship probably saw that I was doing a pretty good job as being like the host / analyst on the on those online games. And yeah, I mean, I think I enjoyed doing it online, but as you say, the step to doing it in person is a big step and a whole different experience for sure.
So you have been doing analyst work before, but it's
every
like
now and then, online only though.
So it wasn't that big a dive into the deep end, besides in real life, you know?
Yeah, it was different. It was very different in many ways because, like, when you're commentating, you're allowed to not necessarily you need to throw to your duo, obviously, but you're allowed to go on a tangent sometimes. You feel like you can just go off on what you want to say. On the desk, you've got to make sure you make your point succinctly, not go too long on one particular point. And if you've got a second point, save it. Don't necessarily. Don't get me wrong. The points you will make as a commentator and an analyst can be similar, especially if you're a color commentator. I mostly do I've always mostly done play-by-play, but I do a decent job at color as well. So I feel like that's probably one of the main reasons why I slotted in pretty well at doing it in person, especially as well watching tons of tournaments, watching them for years and years and years, learning the craft from watching others do it, the best in the game like Yanko and lots of these top guys who've been doing it for years and years. It gives you the information and gives you the idea of how you need to go about that job.
Yeah, like, so how I'm curious. How did you even you're doing play-by-play first, doing a little bit of color casting here, and now analyst work. How did you even get into casting? Like, what inspired you to cast? And you started casting by yourself, just in your room, I assume, as we all start casting in Counter-Strike?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty much that. I mean, when I was young, I think the main thing I always say to people, the main thing that's kind of given me the idea of how to commentate and the tones and the styles is watching regular sport, right? I mean, big fan growing up of football, Formula 1, tennis, especially Formula 1 and tennis. Those 2 in particular are still my big passions to this day. And I always appreciated how commentators for regular elevated the coverage and made it feel special. I always appreciated that. It would give me goosebumps when amazing things would happen, right?
Yeah,
I took it on board. And yeah, I always felt like I had the ear for it, but I only really dived into doing it like you originally asked, right? COVID era, online era of CS. Most people were at home, that much to do, right?
You were like, I'm gonna give it a crack.
I'm gonna give it a crack. I had friends in ESEA Advanced,
You
which is one of
had
the lower
friends.
tier leagues. No, I still know them.
Okay, good. All right,
I
good.
still know them. Don't worry.
I thought they got jealous of your success, you know? Like, why
No,
he's
but-
getting paid for just, watching Counter-Strike. It's not fair.
Well, when I say had, it's because they don't really play professionally anymore. It's kind of my
okay.
point, right? But basically, they were semi-pros in the ESEA leagues, and they started in ESEA Advanced. I think actually they were in the league before that. I think it's main, intermediate, then main, then advanced. They got through main into advanced, and when they were in advanced, they were part of a really small Dutch organization called Forward, FWRD, which was a bit very small and turned out to be a bit shady.
That's
things, unfortunately.
That's how you do. I mean, you probably have some stories about that too. I want to ask about that later.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, they in the end played a lot of games in the ESC Advanced. Like, sure, I'll stream your matches. Yeah, that could be a bit of fun. I was already streaming a little bit, streaming like Vertigo matchmaking. Like, I like to think of myself as a bit of a Vertiglobal back then.
Only Vertigo. Like, who else is that? Who was also
well,
like
only,
on a pixel?
Not only. I'd play
okay.
lots of other maps. I'd play lots of other maps, but mostly when I streamed, it would be Vertigo matchmaking with friends.
I
right?
mean,
just
why Vertigo? I think that's I get depressed just looking at it and watching it. I thought it was a disgusting map. It's gray blob.
I won't disagree with you. It became really bad at the end. It really did become bad at the end. But at the time, it was in an okay state to have fun in matchmaking, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I went for it then.
The Creek meta too, I think.
Yeah, well, but yeah, as you say, that was a great place to start for me. Just streaming my friends' matches in the ESE Advanced. That got me a bit of progress in terms of just getting better. That got me from using a headset microphone to using a proper, studio microphone.
Yeah.
I first got my stream on an HLTV match page for the ESL Benelux playoffs when they managed to qualify for that.
Cool.
Unfortunately, the Benelux leagues for ESL, those regional championships are all dead now. But back then, it was a great chance to kind of cut your teeth at that sort of level.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I got the perms to put my stream on match pages for HLTV, like I just mentioned,
oh yeah,
I had the free reign to kind of do whatever I want. Any ESEA Advanced playoff game, which they always put the Advanced playoffs on HLTV, any open qualifier that would reach the HLTV stage, and from just there on, step by step, I'd get a bit better. I would continue putting my name out there, and people would click my stream, and I'd get more and more viewers, and people would be like, "Oh, you're doing a pretty good job, man." And eventually, I think my first ever professional game was like a Fun Spark Ulti online match where I think it was again some of the Relog Media, some of the CCT old grid people.
Yeah.
Noticed me and brought me on back in early 2021. That and the Epic League CIS RMR. If some people remember that, it's a famous Akuma tournament.
I just wanted to say, yeah.
Accused of radar hacking. I'm pretty sure.
Did you cast those games?
I don't think I casted an Akuma game exactly, but I casted quite a lot of the games in that RMR.
Oh, okay.
For the major. So if you look at my Wikipedia page, for example, that's my first ever event.
Yeah, I have done the research. Yeah,
which is a bit weird. A very weird event to have as my first ever event.
Exactly. I was like, wait, how did this? What is this? It's like some. Wait, does he have contacts already? Well, how did he get in there? You know.
I know. I mean, I did lots of league stuff. I think pretty sure before that CIS RMR, I think I did that one Fun Spark game I did. I'm pretty sure that was before that, but it's just listed differently on HLTV on Wikipedia. Sorry, from what I remember. But yeah, I mean, just in the end, it was just doing a lot of online grinding, a lot of solo casts on stream. Eventually, getting noticed for ESEA Premier, which is now, of course, ESL Challenger League. And it took a lot of time. It took me probably a full year to really get started and get actual gigs on a regular basis in early 2021.
From casting your friends to casting those guys at Forwards, the Dutch organization.
Yes.
Was that
they were on that team? Yeah, that was the same players.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Was that then after you started with them? It was another year until you got gigs, or was it even longer? Because that first was just like you're just doing it, you weren't really trying.
Yeah, for fun, just getting Twitch money. That's all.
Yeah,
from,
Twitch money is still money,
I know, but
I love Twitch money. I love every type of money,
Most money's good money. But yeah, exactly. I think it was a little while. I think it was early to mid 2020. and I kind of got those. I was doing those ESEA league things for my friends, and then the HLTV perms came in to put my stream on match pages. Then it was a lot of like, as I say, like open IP games, ESE advanced games. On
And that was like a year of
Teeth.
doing that until you got some real.
A year to 8 months, something like that maybe. And then beginning of 2021, I got a couple of things.
I mean, that goes quite quickly. I feel like no, like that's
It
faster than I thought. You know, like for example, comedians they go out and they try that craft, and if you get discovered or start making money after 9 months, 12 months, you're quick. Yeah. You're very quick. So I feel like you.
Okay, so I'm just looking at it now. My first ever invoice I ever issued to a tournament, which was that Epic League CSRMR, funnily enough. I sent it off on the 6th of June, 2021 on my records I've got here. So it probably was like a year, like a full year of really grinding, doing online stuff and getting noticed. And
a little bit of nepotism to get that Epic League. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No,
honestly,
allegedly.
It's not even a lie. It's not even a lie. Like, I had a friend who was like, look, this tournament actually needs like 3 or 4 people. Would you like to be involved? And there you go. Like, it's kind of word of mouth gets you places. Yeah. Simple as that. Like, it's the reality.
You say friends, others say networking. So, you know, I think you just did great networking there. It's part of the business, man. It's part of the business. All right. Before we get further into it, we're going to play a little game. Okay. All right. Say it with me. What's on tap?
What's on tap?
Yeah, what's on tap?
What's on tap, baby?
Yeah. Nobody knows it. I like just saying that because no one knows what to do with it. All right, for that, I'm going to spin the wheel. And while the wheel's spinning, I'm just going to say we're going to list the drinks. We got PC Rust Water, Devil's Brew, Buffalo Bourbon, Would You Rattler, Truth to Lie Cocktail, What If Whiskey, and Q&Ale. And you, Trav, you don't drink, but I'm gonna still force you to drink down this drink, which is Would You Rattler, which is where I ask you would you rather questions. All right?
Okay.
All right, so it's gonna be an alcohol-free Would You Rattler. So, first question. Would you rather cast an amazing final of IM Chengdu, for example, right? Big tournament. Or cast a boring 3-0 blowout, but it's at IM Cologne?
Oh, that's really tough.
That's a good rattler, right?
Yeah, because Cologne is kind of the dream event I want to cover, low key. Because if I was gonna cover, if I'm covering the IM Cologne Grand Final, I'm probably at the event and will have covered other games as well.
True. You won't only come there for the final. Right? It'll be kind of crazy.
So I'm gonna purely on the basis of it being Cologne and it being the Cathedral of Counter-Strike. Even if it's a boring final, it's still in an arena. It's still the Lanxess arena. I'll go Cologne.
It's a magical place. Like, have you been to Cologne yet?
Yes, 5 times actually. 2019. Yeah. Then they had the break for COVID.
Yep.
Then 22, 23, 24, and this year.
I went more. I went since 2017. I'm better. I'm a better Counter-Strike person, even though I don't.
We walked past each other and we had no idea about it.
No, probably. Well, yeah, I'm always. Yeah, I never seen you, but I'm not that social. I should be more social. Should talk more to the people.
You should.
Should get these more. There's networking going. You know, like gets you places. I will talk to you next time. All right, you will be my network. Next. Would you rattler? I mean, like, Cologne. I mean, that is the dream event, or is it like the next one? I am Cologne, the major. I mean, that has to be.
That is the dream.
That's
event,
the Cologne of majors. Yeah. I mean, that is like it's gonna be.
It's gonna be incredible.
It's gonna be best out of 5 final.
Have a ticket already. Yeah.
It's gonna be the best, the absolute best tournament, and I'm gonna be there. I already got my tickets. Don't go on Airbnb.
Same here.
I don't mind. I will sleep on the street.
I will see you there, my friend.
Yeah, I will see you there. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to everybody else coming to the greatest major yet. All right, next, Would You Rattler? We keep chugging. Would you rather duo with Machine or Sponge?
I prefer doing play-by-play a bit more, so probably Sponge because he's colour.
Yeah.
I love Machine. I worked with both of them at Thunderpick. They were first time I've actually worked with them properly.
Oh yeah?
Not the first time I met them in person, but first time I've worked with them, and they were, just great people. Like very receptive, very easy to talk to. They, you can tell that they're still pretty humble, no ego whatsoever. Like great guys, really great guys.
Yeah, they seem like it. Yeah, no, like there's so much. And what you say, Sponge? You will pick Sponge?
I will pick Sponge because he's color and I'd be play-by-play.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or else it will be a mess. But like, nah, you're making the political answer, of course. No, I don't know. I like to put people on the spot. All right.
All good.
Next, would you rather cost 2 quarterfinals and 1 semifinal, or 1 final of like a big tournament? Because like it's just more games, and oftentimes, I think like semifinals are more interesting.
Did you say 2 quarters and 1 semi?
Yes.
Okay. I already chose the final for Cologne.
Yeah.
So I'll actually here I'll take especially if they're good matches, I'll take the 2 quarters and 1 semi. I think here.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, that you don't know, but
It's any tournament, right? It's any tournament.
It's any tournament, so you cast out a wide wet net for a great game.
Yeah, 2 quarters and 1 semi. Then I'll go for
I mean, that's the thing, like we still remember like the semifinals from PGL Antwerp, where Team Spirit played versus FaZe. That's like that was a great game. So it's the game that makes it, not always the final. I think. All right, and then there's the last rattler. Would you rather replace Zonic as coach on Team Falcons, or replace Neo on FaZe Clan as a coach? And you think about it, what you think is like the least demanding job or most freedom? I'm curious. I know you're not a coach.
People have been calling for Zonic's head for like a really, really long time at this point. People haven't really been calling for Neo's head, but
they should.
I don't know. Like Neo gives the impression that he's not really a very tactical coach. He just doesn't really do that much. More like a man management sort of thing. Who knows? I'm not privy to the behind the scenes stuff on FaZe Clan, but yeah, I think purely because people have wanted Zonic gone for so much longer, then people don't really go at Neo because Neo is such a legend, right? Zonic is too in his own right, but different type of legend, Neo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it would change Falcons' fortunes. No coach change is going to make them win like that. No. But I'll pick Zonic.
Yeah, you will replace Zonic and be like, guys, I got it. We put all the money on Donk. Just forget Donk. Replace anybody. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for drinking what's on tap, and I appreciate it.
All good.
So, the thing is, like with Neo is I have been demanding both their heads. I made 2 separate videos about them. Maybe 2 about Zonic, because it's like I made 2 about both. I see it more as like Zonic is dropping the ball since he got to Falcons, but I think he's still a great coach. People are saying he's washed or he wasn't. I mean, come on, he won 5 majors, so come on, just everybody calm down. But like Neo, he's been disappointing, and we know, I think we secretly know, maybe you don't want to put words in your mouth, but we know it's Kerrigan, calling the shots and saying where the team is headed, and it's the tactical mind of the team. So what is Neo doing if the team spirit is not up to snuff, because that was what Robban was bringing to the team. So that's why I'm like also like a little bit like, and we like Neo. Neo is a very likable guy, but I'm still like, maybe we need Trav there. All right. So you were saying that in that year you were, solo casting and more and just putting the hours in. Do you have any tips for starting casters or people that want to commentate? What are those?
The thing is, it's these days now, it's tougher than ever, right? I mean, there's so many people that wanted to do it from the beginning, and getting any sort of chance to make it. I mean, I haven't made it necessarily yet, but making it depends on what your definition of making it is. But there's so many people.
You have made it, in my opinion. But you can make it so much further. I wish you all the best.
Exactly. Maybe halfway.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, that's the issue. There's just so many people. There's so many people trying to do this, and there's so many people that have, got to the stage of being a regular in CCT, for example. Finding a gap there is very, very difficult. And there's only like a select few duos that have kind of come through in recent years. But if it's your true passion, like it was mine, my advice to anyone would be get your stream started, cover the ESEA leagues, poke around in a few DMs and talk to these like really low tier orgs, these bedroom orgs as such, right? Talk to them and say, look, you've got some. If you're playing your games in the ESEA league coming up, I'd love to stream your game for you. And if you do it, you could do it for free to begin with, and then be like, okay, like I've been a loyal guy to you. Maybe I ask for a tenner a map. Then you make it further. Then you make yourself known. Then you get more viewers on Twitch. Eventually, when you've proven yourself that you can do a bit of decent commentary with just a regular ESEA League team, you could perhaps then apply on HLTV like I did to get your name linked to match pages. So basically, it's a little drop-down menu that you'd get to attach your Twitch to any match page you want, and then you could even apply for co-stream perms and stream while watching big tournaments. You don't need perms for open IP games or ESEA League games if you want to put your stream on them, but for big tournaments, you do need co-stream perms. So make sure you get that, and to grow your stream further. Even I still do quite a lot of that.
Check it out, people. Trav CS, Twitch, twitch.com.
Co-streaming is the best thing you can do when you're not, in my opinion, if you're a talent that was working quite a lot of online gigs and bits and pieces in between. Look at Maui Snake, for example. Co-streaming big events is the best thing you can do to occupy yourself and to keep your name relevant in the scene if you're not actually working the event that's going on.
But that's that first, right? that's a hump that's so much further. It's first of like getting the stream started, learning how to actually be a caster, because that's also
maybe I have skipped a little bit.
Yeah, no, but the stuff, like, genuinely, I have been thinking of being a caster because it's such it seems like a dream, So maybe sometimes it's a nightmare, I feel like, but we'll get into that.
Well, we'll get into that, yeah.
But I feel like there's so many humps, but you're making it feel like a bit more possible. Just starting it, reach out to people. Hey, we can scratch each other's backs. I cast your games, and you guys have someone to shout you out.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah. That's good stuff.
Look, don't get me wrong, it's a grind to get yourself known, and also don't get me wrong, you do have to have the feel for it. Like, obviously, I listened back to my online stuff I did when I was, as I said, like 5 years ago now. Ugh, I hate hearing myself back from back then. It's a horrible thing to go back and listen to, but at the end of the day, you can improve a hell of a lot just by doing these ESEA League games. Maybe like once every one game every other day or something like that. If you've got the spare time able to do so, if you've got a decent, if you've got a decent studio microphone that you use on your Twitch stream and stuff like that. If you've always had the passion for it and really want to talk about the game, you can give it a go. But also, don't get me wrong, you've got to be damn good. Like, eventually, you've got to reach a point where you've got to have the understanding of tone, when to get excited about what moments, when to hype something up, as I said, like when you think it's necessary. Because the community is brutal.
Yeah.
If you do something that the community doesn't like, they'll get on your back pretty quickly. If you've got to a point where you're known, for example, they'll get on you pretty quickly about things. So, firstly, don't pay attention to that. Like, all the negativity out there, try not to pay attention to the negativity, but also be aware of what people like and what people don't like at the same time.
I appreciate that you're saying that you shouldn't pay too much attention to what people say, especially the negative feedback. Because my answer is
constructive criticism only.
Yeah, my answer is just to drink more, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's only half true. Anywho, no. Yeah, you can't drink your feelings away, of course. But no, I get that. That makes sense. And yeah, I already wanted to ask, like, it's not, sadly, I think in YouTube videos, it's more quality, I think, than quantity that makes your thing grow bigger. Because, like, make a great video, people are actually gonna watch it. I try and make a video every week, which is a bit stressful because I want to, balance it with other things. But I know the videos can be as good as I can make them, and I feel like that's affecting the quality of them. So I'm gonna go back to quality. And with casting, it's more like, are you casting? Are you there 4 days a week? Are you there? Are people hearing your voice? Are people giving you a little bit, good criticism for you to become better? And yeah, I think that's great stuff. Like, I think you made it a bit clearer, because, like, for me, I don't know where to start, But it sounds
definitely streaming stuff on your own channel is the most important thing. Like, really, and reaching out. Don't be afraid to reach out to these smaller teams. If you can find some, like, small Twitter account somewhere, they've got DMs open. even if you don't have to reach out to them, you can just do them of your own volition,
Yeah.
and who knows who might discover it and where it could take you.
I mean,
Right?
I reached out to you, and you were so nice to, answer back and be on the podcast, which I appreciate. So, guys, if I'm not going after my dream of becoming a CS caster, please you do it and follow Trav's advice because it's some good stuff. Just some technical advice. What are some pitfalls that casters can fall into when they're trying to cast? Can they, like you said, like get excited for the wrong things, like knowing when to because you need to build a crescendo. You can't be hyped about the pistol round. You have to build it
if it's an insane 4K or an ace or something.
True, true.
EK rounds,
but then there's probably a technique, how to keep it excited. Yeah.
I still think at the end of the day, it still comes down to what kind of person you are, and unfortunately, what voice you have, right? Like, if you've got a good voice, you'll get, that's the first important step at the end of the day. But yeah, pitfalls there is, let's see. I mean, as you say, definitely the getting hyped about things that aren't necessarily worth getting hyped about is one of them. I think paying attention to the small things is also quite important. Even if you're play-by-play, feel free to pay attention to the important micro of the round. Like, you don't have to just be set in your stone of what role you want to be. If you're starting a solo casting, you are doing both, aren't you? You are being a play-by-play and a color at the same time because you're the only one there.
Yep.
So pay attention to the small things. Notice what strategies are being used, what plays are being made, what util is being used, what the economy situation is. All the things that make Counter-Strike, especially the money, which is very unique with a sort of FPS game like that, always has been. Just making sure you pay attention and don't overlook things that you think are necessary, but also don't go on tangents too much about one specific thing.
Yeah,
make
the balance.
Make sure to balance it. Yeah, I mean, I still think that there are many things that I'm probably going to think about later that I'm not going to say here. I'll be like, oh, I could have said that, I could have said this. But if you just listen to some of the best commentators in the world in general as well, that's the most important thing too. You can have all the ideas you'd want in your own head, how you want to do things, but also listen to the Scrawnies and Launders of the world. Listen to the Machine and Sponge. Listen to Dinko and Moses about how they go about things.
I mean, you
right?
have to listen to the best, learn from the best.
And Harry and Hugo. At the end of the day, me listening to them and like the old days, like Anders and all the other boys that were around, James and DDK, listening to them and listening to, as I said, where I kind of got the passion for it, listening to sports commentators as well, and how to pace your tone and how to pick up on the right things and how to throw to your duo if you ever work with another person. It's all these small things that will build up and help you.
So yeah, there's so many things I want to ask, because, but like speaking about these people that you look up to or like learn from, who are some casters that you feel like you learned the most of, or that you are inspired by the most, or that you feel like, oh, I feel like I have the same style. Like, I don't think I have the right ear for that, because like you have Scrawny and Landers, I think they're a bit more, like, if I have to say myself, a bit more silly, goofy in their casting, but of course they can bring the seriousness and the epicness. Well, I think an Anders and Anders can also be a bit silly, but not that silly, But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bit. Wow, how do you look up to them? Or were there real life casters that you really got inspired by?
There were definitely a few people that I mostly got inspired by. I mean, I probably will go over this a little bit later, obviously, but first ever in-person event I went to, ECS Season 1. I got into professional Counter-Strike in about 2015 when I really started watching the majors and stuff. I started playing myself for the very first time in early February 2015, and it was later in 2015 when I got into the esports side. Went to the first ever event in London, like literally 15 minutes away from me. Very grateful to have Wembley very close to me. Went to ECS Season 1, met James Bardolph and DDK. They were probably the two casters that I really enjoyed listening to when I was first got into esports and first got into SCS and listening to the pro side of things. These days, I think Harry and Hugo, the way they go about their dynamic, is something that I really appreciate. It's something that I've publicly on Twitter a while ago, like, praised like Lawners and Scrawny for, which they told me afterwards it's something they've been working on the most, is how Scrawny's play-by-play is absolutely amazing, and how Launders slots his thoughts in the middle of Scrawny's play-by-play, but then Scrawny doesn't get thrown off by that. He goes straight back into it as soon as Launders chucks in 3 or 4 words that he thinks are necessary, and he doesn't get thrown off what he was already previously saying. That's something that I've yet to learn. Sometimes with some of my duos, even duos I've worked with many times over the 4 or 5 years. Sometimes that's one of the things I could work on. They will chuck in like a look at the bomb or look at the time or something. I'll be like, yeah, rather than going straight back into my play-by-play off the bat of that, right? Launders and Scrawny have got that down to a T, and that comes with hours and hours of big tournaments, loads of practice behind the scenes, and a lot of hard work.
I mean, yeah, and they have the luxury, of course, now that they have made it, that they can actually, like, you are my guy and I'm your guy, you know, we can really, like, play. Like, have you found your guy or your girl to... I
haven't found my girl, mate. I haven't found my girl.
Oh, bro, me neither, man.
We'll get there one day. That's a whole other long story.
Oh,
we'll go down that path, but yeah. But talking about duos, I do have a guy that I've commentated the most with. There's 2 or 3 that I feel really close to. Neokai is one of them.
Oh, Neokai! Wow.
Yeah, he's worked a lot of in-person events, and I've done a lot of casts with him historically. One of our first ever big events in our career was IEM Fall back in 2021, which was an RMR back then. Really good event. We worked that together. Yumi is another one.
Oh, I like Yumi, yeah.
That I've done quite a lot of work with and enjoy quite a lot. Neo's duo Scriv I've worked with quite a bit. But my main duo, the guy that I feel I still have to this day, even now, after 4 or 5 years, just the most synergy with, the easiest to bounce off each other, just because he's a good friend as well. Hayes, Matthew Stott, my good man Hayes from South Africa. I've worked a couple of in-person events for ESL Challenger with him in their studio in Stockholm. And Hayes is just a lovely guy, really easy to work with, and he's been doing like tier 2 CCT stuff with me for a very, very long time now. So yeah, we're actually in the process of doing ESL Challenger League South America playoffs over the next week or so. So yeah, we still work together nearly as much as we possibly can. But as you say, like, it's not all set in stone. The top duos are the top duos because they are so like synergize together so brilliantly. At this sort of level, you do mix and match quite a lot. And even though that's the case, I can still pinpoint, as I said, those like 2 or 3 people, especially Hayes, that I feel most comfortable with.
And do you like practice with them? Like, do you
occasionally? Yeah. Like say before a decent event we do. Say for example, it was Thunderpick not this year but last year. Me and Hayes covered the group stage online before the finals were held in Berlin. And yeah, before the event, we went over all our points together. We had a little bit of a refresher together just to gauge what all our thoughts were, and all the teams playing, and just shared points and stuff, and just a nice little like a bonding exercise, pretty much, like a mini bonding exercise to say, okay, yeah, we've got our synergy back again. We're ready to go tomorrow. Simple things like that, right?
Yeah. So I'm just curious, just a funny little thing. I'm curious what your do you have a team that you support, or do you have players you like? You know, are you always like, hey, if there's a UK player, I mean, I can't help myself. You know, like, I'm Dutch myself. There's not many Dutch players to support, but when there's one, I get pretty excited. But
let's go Fissure.
Yeah, Fissure, my boy Fissure. We got Crucial and Nemesis, you know, with your boy Thomas. Yeah, we won a LAN.
Unfortunately, Fissure is. I think he's more interested in crypto these days than he is playing Counter-Strike.
Oh, I don't. I don't know if you're throwing shade. I haven't noticed. You know, I don't. I haven't looked that far close into it. Chris J, you know.
Oh God, don't.
That's a bit more. That is. You can throw shade there, I guess. But
yes,
I'm curious. Do you have a favorite team, or do you feel like, well, I can't say that because then people will in cast?
No. Look, you can be honest at the end of the day, right? I mean, right now, I just am a big Furia enjoyer in general. I just really appreciate what they've done, because I've like, when they first picked up Yakinda and Molodoi, I was like, okay, firstly, I knew who Molodoi was. I thought he was amazing. I mean, like lots of people just had no clue who Molodoi was because they
Nope.
don't watch Tier 2 CS, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I knew who he was. I thought he was amazing. But going to Furia, dealing with international travel, dealing with playing with 3 Brazilians, dealing with playing with a completely new team, new environments,
New level.
traveling all over the world as a
Yeah.
new level,
And
new
you get to the
tier.
biggest stages because you are the best team in NA, so you
Yeah.
get the invites, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and he dealt with that so well. I thought it was going to crash and burn, and especially Yakinda. I thought he wasn't going to do too well, but couldn't be happier to be wrong, and that is why I think I just love Fury right now. It does change. Don't get me wrong, like you say, mate. Like I'm a big Mezzi enjoyer.
Yeah, of
was
course.
always happy to see him win events with
Me too.
Vitality. But it does tend to my favorites. I don't have pure like org favorites. Some people
Yeah.
have followed organizations since like 2014 and like have the heart goes out to NIP or Fnatic or some of
Yeah.
those OG orgs like Na'Vi who've been around from the very beginning in CS, right? I don't really have that. I just like teams how they are in the current period.
Oh
And
yeah.
right now my current favorite is Furia, and I can't lie about that at all.
So you like teams, not necessarily orcs.
Yeah,
Like it's
pretty
like
much.
oh
Like,
this
I
this
like to see progressions. Yeah.
this collection of players makes me excited. That's a little bit like
Mm.
oh that. Yeah. I mean I'm the same. I started with liking NIP, but then the orc was kind of questionable, and then I like mouse sports a little bit. I'm wearing mouse sports right now, but I'm not in love with mouse sports. They're not spicy enough for me. So I
I have
actually
a
if
mouse hoodie. Don't
yeah.
worry, I'll always order that.
Good, good.
The collection behind me. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that's some good looking stuff there. But like I'm a fan of FaZe Clan right now, but not necessarily because
Valid.
I adore FaZe Clan. Uh, but I just like the players. Well, I did but then they kicked Rain, which I'm very
You
unhappy
can't hate
about.
FaZe. Like,
I mean,
unless you're. There's some people that do, but I think like when you see a team play like they have, I agree. There are some teams which are obvious, like you can hate watch them, whatever. There
yeah,
are some teams which I just feel like you can't hate watch, and you just appreciate what they've done over the course of time. FaZe is one of them for sure.
and they're just fun. They're just so
Hmm.
much fun. And my favorite player is Kerrigan. And yeah, I feel like we're counting the days until he has to step down, but I refuse. Refuse. One of the teams I hate watch coincidentally is Furia. I just don't. I don't like him, so it hurts me to see them do well. But at least they're
But
going.
if you, I will say like one of the things that does make me like them more is just how like happy they seem to be playing their CS at the moment. Like it's infectious in a way. I was, as I said, lucky enough to be in Malta at Thunderpick. Even when I finished my couple of days of work, I stuck around for the final and stood in the arena and watched them play. Just small things like seeing the like small human moments of Fallen and Queserato just like running behind me into the crowd to hug their partner and see their dogs and stuff, right? Like small things like that. It's just like, oh yeah, like you can get behind them. It makes you feel.
Okay,
Makes you
man,
want to
that's
support
interesting.
them.
I mean, Fallen is great. He knows
love
how
Fallen.
to,
Yeah.
he knows how to play the game. He's a smart man. I think he got it all down. If there's a
Mm.
person that knows how to live life, it's Fallen. He's killing it in every regard. He does. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a positive. Of course, you're happy if you're winning a lot and you're playing much better than you have done in a decade that the organization existed, almost, since they came on the field, came on the scene with Art and Able J and stuff. This is the
Yeah, I
best
think that
they've
was
ever
like
been.
2017, 2018. Yeah,
Exactly,
something like
yeah. You talked briefly about, coincidentally, your first tournament was the infamous Epic League where we had a team in the form of Akuma. And luckily, I don't know if you want to say it that way, you didn't cast them, you don't remember. But have you ever encountered having to cast a team that you knew or either thought was cheating, perhaps, or even match fixing?
Well, look,
Because it is the tier 2 scene, because it is and it's an explosive
Yeah.
topic. I'm so.
I know, it's fine. I'll be totally honest with you about it. I mean, there are some players that very clearly have used radar historically, even if they haven't been caught now. There are some teams that probably have cheated. I have 2 examples. One a very recent one a very old one. I did a tournament with Elisa, the Finnish TO. Elisa Esports.
Oh yeah, Elisa. Yeah.
It was their online. I think it was their online series, and one of their games I covered a German team, I think there are some people who might remember it, called Sharda Holt, which is obviously a German name. It turned out about a day or two after I covered that game and I saw the results. After when I did it, I was like, some of these guys have a few shady paths. There are some cheaters in here that have gotten caught with like some of the old anti-cheats from days gone by. And then it turns out that a few days later there was a publicized betting slip where someone put a lot of money on one of them to win a map and one of them to lose a map. And it turned out that they were very clearly match fixing, and it didn't surprise me in the slightest. As an example of a game I've covered, which has very obviously been match fixed. But also, I would like to say, before I get on to the second point, the more recent one, there aren't obvious match fixes out there, at least to me. It's happening. You can't get away from it. It's absolutely happening. There are many teams that are doing it. I'm sure in tier 3, tier 4 especially, in the lower tiers when they're trying to make money. Look at how the Mongolian scene has gotten corrupted recently with how that's all gone down. Below like the Mongols and all the actual good teams, but only the teams that are not winning anything.
No.
Like look at somebody, the Chinese player who's been caught by Boris and all those tweets, right?
Caught by Boris of all people, you know. he has a past.
But yeah, as I was saying, it's probably happening, but it's all too often you can't really notice it as a commentator. There are some that feel a bit more obvious, especially when teams are using radar. You can kind of tell that rotation was a little bit lucky, that rotation is a bit lucky, 2 or 3 in a row, and you think, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But the modern example when it comes to cheating, I've given you a match fixing example, now a cheating example. A team called Chemistry, Q Mystery, a Polish team. I covered them in CCT Contenders, which is one of the low tier tournaments, like a plus 60 VRS ranking tournament. It's specifically made for teams who are lower ranked to try and make progress in the scene. They won the final. And it turns out about a week or 2 later, when they weren't with their organization anymore, they both got flagged. Like 2 of their players got flagged by the Acros anti-cheat. And it turns out they've now got 2-year bans plus.
Is
right?
it
so
purple colored logo? No.
Red. I think it's red. Like Q Mystery. QMISTRY. They don't exist anymore to my knowledge.
Yeah.
They then played under a different name, like Giuseppe, I think it was DZIUSEPPE, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, they both got banned by Acros anti-cheat. And funnily enough, one of the more famous ones that I've just remembered, talking about Acros anti-cheat, I was in the broadcast on the TeamSpeak call when Joel got flagged across anti-cheat.
Wow.
And I was the guy, like, I saw it pop up on the Discord log and it's saying like, Joel is connected to the game, Joel is disconnected from the game. We saw that on the HLTV log. On the Discord log it said Joel is having issues with the Acros anti-cheat, and it turns out they played with a stand-in. I think they played with, it would have been BC game, right? So it would have been Guardian standing in for him.
Probably the coach, yeah.
Guardian, maybe off pure memory.
Most likely, yeah.
And then it turned out a day or 2 later, publicized that he got flagged and was banned. So, yeah, was a couple of examples for you there.
Who was it? Was it Kugli? No, Kugli didn't get, or Kaylee didn't get banned.
Kaylee got back banned.
Yeah, but not live. Not live. There was a Swedish player, Emilio. Yeah, you got an Emilio moment with Joel.
Kinda.
I mean, that's pretty sick. I mean, and
we couldn't say it on broadcast though. We couldn't say it on broadcast. It wasn't actually publicized at the time. We had to behave.
And that's cute. Really that's what I wanted to ask. Like, how do you deal with it? Like, how do you bite your tongue? Like, that's for someone who has to talk for 50 to an hour to hour and a half just have to bite their tongue. I mean, that's kind of difficult, no?
It's difficult, but at the end of the day, you do try and be professional about it. You can be cheeky and throw in some like references if you want, and because obviously if it's genuine public knowledge that the whole chat knows about, the whole community knows about, social media knows about, you can be a bit cheeky and maybe throw in some references and stuff like that. If it's something that's complete unknown to the community and there's not been publicized yet, you could say, oh, Joel had some connectivity issues. Oh, Joel had some issues with connecting to the anti-cheat or whatever. You could even say, you don't have to say exactly what it is, but you can say you just had some issues connected to the anti-cheat. Anything small like that, and say, and then just move on past it and cover the game. It's tempting, don't get me wrong, and I even in games that are less serious, I have been a bit more bold with how I've mentioned things. That's for sure. But unless you're like explicitly told not to say something, I don't think really any TO can be upset with you if you do at the end of the day, because they haven't warned you prior. You wouldn't know. But of course, again, I say that you still got to use common sense and say what you think is right, and don't say what you think is not right. So.
No, definitely not. Like, but you know, I love saying like spicy things, you know, and you know, like, I want to get. I don't know what the right segue here is, but I'm just excited, you know. But do you have much insider information? Do you get some, you know, some whispers here and there? Because, like, I think that's so exciting, man. I want to just inject that shit right into my vein. Like, I was doing a podcast with Quack, and he had some news about the OG roster, which is not announced at this time, right now.
Cadian's been announced, but not the whole roster.
Cadian is announced, but the second player, he had some news about...
Susp.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not uploading this podcast this Friday, so yes, it was Susp, and he had some inside information, and I was like, that's sick. I was like, I'm an insider now. I don't know how that works, but like,
I know.
So do you like hear some rumblings, and you know, do you have to bite your tongue, or do you? I don't know what to say. You know, I don't think you say it to other people. I don't know how that works. I don't want to, you know.
Well, I know what you mean. Like, word of mouth can get through to you quite often. I mean, sometimes I'm involved with. I just know a lot of people, thankfully, in the scene. Right, I know people from North America, from South America, from a lot from EU, and quite a lot from North
Nepotism.
America.
I mean, networking.
And but yeah, it's not even that. It's just knowing things and them finding out things they tell you about. Yeah, there's a couple of things that have been publicized now. As I can give you an example. I knew about some of the Game Illusion changes way back a couple of years ago before they were announced. I knew about the I can't remember. I think it was longer ago than that. I'm not so sure. I can't remember which one it was. But
like Scream and Nog or something.
I know Cypher quite well, so unfortunately I was privy to the Fnatic benching before it really became public knowledge.
Devastating.
Which is a real shame. Obviously,
love
devastating.
Cypher. Is he joining a new team? Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't know nothing about that, my friend. Even if I did, if I knew he was joining a new team, I'd say yes, there's an announcement soon. But I don't actually know anything at the current point.
I wish him the best.
I don't know. Me too. But yeah, I knew a little bit about that. But again, it just comes from knowing people. An example I can think of like, there's so much information that people just like to leak now, which is why some of the roster moves that don't have social media accounts leaking them that happen are always very exciting. Device was a famous one to NIP.
Yeah.
It wasn't leaked beforehand, and everyone was just in complete shock about
crazy.
it. But yeah, these days there are just so many of these like mini insider Twitter accounts that post things that you don't know whether to believe are true or not.
I can just be guessing.
It is kind of just guessing at the end of the day, it feels like, but you can pay attention to them, you can link them, and you can talk about them, and that kind of gives you an idea sometimes of what could be going on in that sort of situation. I think a good example of that would be the situation, actually. I think I've seen a couple of tweets from various news sites saying, oh, the brothers could be reuniting and stuff like that, right? And one brother that's a brother of Adam B. It's us, right? So
yeah.
You can put two and two together there.
I mean, I tried to play that game a little bit, you know, I'm not gonna lie. No, I like, when Rain got benched on FaZe, I was like convinced he was gonna go for BC Game for like a few months, just for a few months, you know, just to get a big paycheck and stuff. And I just made a little video about it. I was like, this is gonna happen. I did say like, I don't know, but I think they should do this. I wasn't being like, guys, this is a leak. No. But I was like, this is a great signing. He's going to 100 Thieves right now. I'm excited if they actually play a game for once with that lineup. So
God, yeah, true. What happened? Was it 2020 that happened with the
Immortals,
that Brazilian lineup?
Yeah, I think 2019 they were supposed to play in the Boston finals, league, the Boston Major, and they got stickers in the game. But then they never arrived.
More like 2018, yeah.
I don't know if it was like because of visas and stuff.
I forget exactly why that happened, but yeah.
Why they didn't show up? I don't know. Visas, stupid stuff, and then they were like, ugh. They never played a game. That's silly talk.
Yeah,
silly
crazy.
talk.
They got the stickers, but never played the game.
No, don't know. That's Counter-Strike for you. But like, yeah, I'm curious because like I can't bite my tongue when I get this information because I love that information. I will be spouting it off I'm not really making myself eligible as a person you can trust. If people give me information, please give me information. I'm very excited for Counter-Strike behind the scenes. But that's one of my faults. And I'm curious, what are some of your weak points that you've had as a caster that you were like, I have to fix this, and how did you go about it? You know, what do you think you had to be stronger in?
There's a few things that I think are actually quite important to say here, and I can give you another, maybe a bit more of a serious one and a bit more of a light-hearted one. I think one of the more serious ones, which I kind of touched on a little bit earlier, is just like making sure not to pay attention to negativity. Like at the end of the day, you could have 100 people that really enjoy what you do, then you see one message in Twitch chat who's like, "What's this guy talking about?" in maybe a bit of a ruder tone or ruder words.
Yeah.
And honestly, you're not human if it doesn't get to you. You can have thick skin, you can have as thick a skin as you want. It probably will get to anyone. Would it get to anyone? I feel like. I mean, and that's something that's very hard to cope with even now. I've been very fortunate to feel like I've been in a position where, especially with my Twitch streaming, lots of people appreciate what I do. And now if someone dunked on me, if someone had a really weird thing to say about me or said something horrible, I'd be able to get a dunk back on them because I feel confident enough in myself and my position in the scene to say like, well, I've worked this, and this. What have you done? You know, stuff like that.
True.
Right?
I mean,
like,
that's good.
I've made it. I've made it to this point. You've never made it to this point. You have
you
no
can
idea
walk the walk, man. Walk the talk. Yeah.
Like, even something as simple as like saying, look, you can say this about me. You can say something about my looks, whatever. You have no idea what it's like to be on camera and work in front of 20,000 people plus, right? You don't know what it's like. If I said something bad about you when you're in that position, I'm sure you'd feel terrible. And people just don't. Obviously, it's tale as old as time. People hide behind the alias on their accounts wherever, and I feel like they can say whatever the fuck they want.
You say as old as time, but you mean like the internet since 2000.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is like it is ancient internet history.
But the esports and CS community is unfortunately known for being very harsh and not very accommodating.
No,
so
they're not.
I feel grateful for, in my case, I feel like I've got a pretty decent end of the stick throughout the majority of my career, and I had quite a lot of praise and a lot of people enjoying what I do. But as I said, the first thing to answer your question, just paying attention to the negativity, paying too much attention to negativity is a difficult thing. And the other thing, which I feel like you could argue maybe, well, sometimes I think when it comes to over-analyzing myself is something that I think is a fault of mine. In big play-by-play moments and moments in tournaments where I feel like I've made a tiny mistake, a mistake that only I will actually pay attention to, a mistake that maybe one person out of 10,000 would actually notice, I would know it, and because I know it, it bothers me, and I try to be too much of a perfectionist, and that sort of thing. Think to myself, oh my goodness, I lisped too much on that one word. Oh my goodness, I didn't pronounce that correctly. Those things, I will completely admit, have gotten to me on a couple of occasions, and it's only happened one time in my career, but I did have like a very small, like anxious panic attack, completely out of the blue. I don't think I've really told anyone this, so this is an exclusive for you if you want. There you go.
Let's go.
But like, let's go for the panic attack.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Well, hey, if they bring me views, more panic attacks. Sorry.
Just don't use it in the title. That's all I'll say.
Trav has panic attacks all the time. What the hell? No, sorry, please.
Funny though.
Making light out of your situation.
I know, but you gotta laugh about it. Right? It was only one time in my entire career, and it was totally out of the blue. Totally out of the blue. It was when I was sitting right here, doing an online game, chilling, and for some reason my heart went really fast and I felt uncomfortable. And it's only happened, and it lasted like a minute or two. I had to tell my co-caster to just cover for a second, right?
Oh yeah.
That's only ever happened to me once in my career. To this day, no idea why it happened. But who knows? Maybe it was a build-up of just things going around in my head, how I feel about myself. Maybe I was just having a bad day, feeling a bit down. It's a human emotion.
Real life things just
it can happen. It's real life.
Through, you know, you can't always push it out.
Who knows what it was? I don't know what it was to this day. But as I said, that's just a byproduct of what I was mentioning earlier. But it's a byproduct that's only happened once, thankfully. But as I say, just being too much of a perfectionist and overanalyzing myself was something that I need to be wary of. And one final thing to answer your original question, I do think I'm even doing it right here, right now. Talking a bit too fast when I don't need to talk as fast in situations like this. When you're on the desk in Thunderpick, one of the most important pieces of advice I was given. Take your time, say your words eloquently. When you're commentating, you have to. Sometimes you feel like you have to rush, because when you're commentating, things continue to happen. You need to make sure you have time to throw to your duo. You need to have time to finish your point before the next execute comes in, or the next bit of utility, or the next kills, anything. On the desk, you've got time. You can take your time to eloquently say what you want to say. Don't rush it. And that is a good piece of advice I was given. And still to this day, think about that quite often. Speak a bit slower when you don't have to speak so fast.
Yeah, and that's what you learned from your last analyst job, or was that last year when you did Thunderpick?
Well, no, it was mostly, to be fair, I already knew it was a thing. I already knew sometimes I could speak a bit too quickly. But this year, in the one in person in Malta, before I went, it was actually Hayes, my duo partner, who spoke to me. As like, just make sure, Travis, there's a couple of things. Always very open and honest with each other, which is what
I mean, that's great. That's how you get better. That's good. Like, yeah, I understand that your relationship with Hayes can be that good if
exactly right. Yeah. And yeah, he was just like, make sure not to speak too quickly on the desk. Make sure to get your points out eloquently, and enjoy it. Most importantly, enjoy it. Don't get. First day I was there, first ever segment I did. Sure, a bit nervous. After that, I'm speaking about my passion. I know what I'm damn talking about. I felt comfortable. So, good piece of advice. Take your time, and that I knew it already, but he just reinforced it to me, and it made me feel more comfortable.
I mean,
Alan and Tech Girl, who I was doing the desk with, both of them said to me, "You did a good job," and also mentioned the don't go on tangents and don't speak too quickly type kind of thing. And that's small tiny things like that help me for sure.
I mean, those small things can do a lot, you know. Like I see it as like, we know a lot of things. We know a lot of things are bad for us, and we know what the right thing is. But then we have to believe it, and we have to truly understand it to actually use it, you know. It's you have to feel it. So I completely understand it, and people saying that again to you will really help a lot. And yeah, speaking about like people, being negative, I have had, the viewers being negative, for example, is also something that is affecting me. And my cure is just, you just drink a little bit more, No, I'm kidding. No. If they notice, then I'm in big trouble, because I have to drink so much more than. No. It is a bit like, it's funny, right? Because I think like you didn't get to your place just because 2-3 people like you. Or like listening to you. There's way more people.
I got where I am because I'm good at what I do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like,
and it's weird, right? I'll have
100, 1,000 people.
Like that. I'll have days where I feel like that, and I'm walking the walk, and I'll feel like I'm hot shit, right?
Yeah.
And I'll have some days where I feel like I'm a complete mess, and I feel like I'm going nowhere in my life. It's human up and down emotions.
Yeah, I would swap with you in a heartbeat. I'm gonna say it right now. It's like but like, yeah, it's funny because like 1,000 people can say like, oh, it's a great cast, oh, interesting, or they watched your entire 3-hour stream. I mean, that's a compliment in themselves. And then Poopy Butthole 64 says, this guy looks weird, or it's like, look at this guy, he's so boring, whatever,
A few things, it's so easy to be self-conscious when you work on camera, and it's something that I feel like people, it doesn't matter, just be open about it. Like, if you're sure you don't want to give in to the haters and be like, oh, that will get to you. You don't want to give them ammunition and be like, okay, you can say this about me and it'll actually get to me. But you can still be open and say stuff like I've been saying. I'll give you a random example. People make the joke about my teeth because I'm from the UK. UK teeth is a funny joke and a funny meme. It's a dumb stereotype. My teeth are not too bad compared to some people's teeth, right?
Yeah, no, we got there's some real British teeth out there, let's just say, Sorry, I'm going with the stereotype.
But joking aside, right, like that made me think to myself a couple of times, maybe I should get something done. And I'll say it right now, I had a tiny bit of whitening done.
Oh yeah?
Not just for myself, to how I feel about myself, but also just to look better on camera, because that's my damn job, right? Like, you want to make yourself look as presentable as possible when you do the job I do. So
yeah, I completely understand.
It's again a human thing that lots of people get things changed about their body that they're not happy with. That's the only thing I'll probably ever do personally. I'm not
that fame.
unhappy overall. So
No, definitely not. Like, I'm
but,
curious.
yeah.
Like, no, I didn't. Like, I think I mean it makes sense. Like that you do change things about your appearance. You know, like for example, it's whitening your teeth is as much as like combing your hair. It's like, but for your teeth because what like
And a bit of self-confidence as well.
yeah,
Anything like that. Yeah.
I think that's like if you start putting your face back like 40 miles and tie it around the thing just so you look 30 somewhat still, that's a bit crazy, but
Yeah.
I would love to get my teeth whitened so I don't have to brush my teeth anymore. That's great. I don't know if that's how it works.
That's not how it works.
Oh,
That's
oops.
not how it works. You got to get that food out your teeth, dude.
Oh
Like,
shit!
just because you got your teeth are white doesn't mean that there won't be food stuck in there.
I coincidentally I was like, you know what? I'm gonna brush my teeth before the podcast because I'm a professional, and that's just, I thank you, and then I start drinking because I'm a real professional. I just cracked open my third beer, by the way. Professional.
Excellent. Yeah, that's where we differ a lot in terms of the drinking. I have sips of things, but I've never had a full drink.
Yeah. So why do you not drink, if I may ask?
So.
Because it is blasphemous on the Counter Shots podcast. It's in the name.
We
We do shots at the end of the podcast. If you didn't know, you are forced to.
I understand, but I'm going to give you a very legitimate excuse.
Allergic.
Not allergic.
Oh.
So I'm type 1 diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, lots of people. There's lots of stereotypes about being diabetic. Type 2 is the one where you get from having a bad diet and being overweight. Type 1, the one I have, is a genetic one, which basically means my pancreas doesn't work anymore. It doesn't produce insulin to allow me to regulate my blood sugar. So my blood sugar, I have a disc on my arm, wrong arm. Disc on my arm here.
Oh.
I scan that with my phone. That tells me what my blood sugar is. And I have a pump on my stomach, which is basically like a fake pancreas. And that has a needle that's in my stomach right now that I control with another one of my machines over there, which it gives me insulin to cover meals. So, for example, I put the carbohydrate value of my meal into the machine, and it through the settings that I've entered into the machine, it enters the insulin dosage that I need to cover that meal of food. So I can eat whatever the hell I want as a type 1, as long as I know the carbohydrate value. And even then, if I don't, I can still estimate it and still do it and still do fine.
Yeah.
The drinking thing, personal preference of not having to deal with the spike from drinking high sugar drinks, and then the dip that comes afterwards, because the dip is known to be, it can affect, type 1 affects everyone very differently, but the dip from drinking alcohol for lots of people, the sugar crash after that, if you don't have food with it all the time, which is obviously a bit awkward, but that crash can occasionally send you way too low, and having really low blood sugar makes me it makes me itch, it makes me shake, it can sometimes lower my cognitive ability in the moment. So at the end of the day, as I said, if I'm out with people, we're having champagne or whatever, I'll have a sip of champagne. If there's someone having a drink that I've never seen before that looks cool, like I don't know, an old fashioned. That's one of the things that Naokai likes. He likes an old fashioned.
Yeah.
Like a drink with whiskey in, I believe.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I'll have a tiny sip of that and be like, just to try it, just to see what it's all about.
Yeah.
I have sips of things so I know what the taste of things are, anything, but I won't have the full drink, and I'll make sure I know. And I've never been drunk in my life, so
yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I'm drunk right now, man. And you say affect my cognitive ability. That's what this does.
I know, but the thing is, that affects your cognitive ability, and you're in a safe space with regulated blood sugar. I would have my cognitive ability affected by having low blood sugar, and it could send me into a coma.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's a weird predicament that I feel right now, because I feel sorry, like you have to have this. I know friends that have like a thing in the stomach and this, and a friend back in the day, but like we were just eating stuff, and his mom would come down and say hey, you have to do this, and he wasn't that serious. But like everybody's different.
People who don't look exactly. But the thing is, everyone's different. But lots of people who are like that don't look after themselves properly, and then in the future, they become blind or have to have limbs cut off because they don't look after themselves properly.
Christ. Yeah,
It can happen.
Yeah, no, I
happens.
that's people say that about diabetes too, and then they lose their foot or something. I don't know. I think that's
more
crazy.
I'm not sure if that's more type 2 or not, but I think it can be type 1 as well. Like type 1, if you don't regulate it and you're just high all the time, you can have eye problems and you can have limb problems in the future of your life.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
I'm very open about it. I've had it since 2009. I got diagnosed on the day of my 13th birthday. I had an ambulance ride in a coma on the day of my in the day of my 13th birthday.
Wow,
pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah.
And yeah, I almost died. I thought I was having a heart attack. Almost died. Long story. A doctor misdiagnosed me when he thought I had glandular fever. He didn't do a proper blood test that all doctors should do when they come around and visit you when you're feeling unwell. If he did, I would have just been taken to hospital, taught about diabetes. Totally calm, sad but calm. This was not calm and sad the way I got diagnosed, unfortunately. So yeah, but look, these days, as I said, 2009. I know exactly what I need to do. I can eat whatever I want. I know how to give myself the right dosages. I'm in the perfect place of. Look, it's still a roller coaster. The levels are still a roller coaster. I mean, I'll just give you an example right now.
Yeah, I was curious. Like, if I say, like, oh, you're eating a hot dog, like, what do you put the machine on?
Can you see this? So this
11.5?
is my line.
Yeah.
This is my line here. I'm in the green where I should be.
Yeah.
That spike there is because of dinner.
Oh, it's dinner. Oh, I thought that was me. Just me breathing alcohol into the mic.
Combination of you and dinner, if you want, my friend.
He's already getting
but as a small example, that is like obviously where it should be, and that's a little bit too high. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to cause me many problems. I can just fix it later. But yeah, as I said, very used to it now. It's a part of my everyday life. I change the pump on my stomach once every 3 days, and it's actually due to be changed tonight. And I change the sensor on my arm once every 15 days. So it's not too bad.
Wow.
When I first got diagnosed, I had to do 5 needle injections a day in my leg and in my stomach. So like probably 3 in my leg total, 2 in my stomach. That's a lot. If I had a phobia of needles, I'd have been absolutely fucked, mate. I can tell you right now.
I don't like it. People don't like needles at all. You don't even have to have a phobia to not have 5 needles inside you.
I know, but yeah, it wasn't very nice. I also had to finger prick to test my blood sugar.
Yeah, that I already think is a bit icky.
It wasn't that painful. That was something that was very easy for me, and I still have to do it if my sensor fails, for example. But that's what the sensor replaces. It replaces the finger pricks, and the pump replaces the injection. So these days I've got it all under lock and key. I know what's what. Still have things that go wrong, and I get annoyed about it. Why am I low? Why am I high? All that sort of stuff. But to put it simply and to summarize it, now I'm used to it, and that's why I don't drink, though. Just to keep it safe, keep myself healthy.
No, I completely understand that. I'm a little bit disappointed because it is the Counter Shots podcast after all.
I know.
No. It's completely understandable, and yeah, I already felt like I'm like dreading when I'm like 45 or 50 that I'm like, oh, I have to wear reading glasses one day. I don't know. It's a completely different world, man. But
yeah,
I just want to keep on talking to you. Because I think it's a lot of fun, but do you have the time? Do you want to keep on talking?
Keep going, mate. I've got another hour or two I can do.
Oh, lovely. Because speaking about the problems that you ran into, you said like negativity from people. Then you said you had to speak slower, and the third one was, let me think. Oh, what was it again? I can't even remember, mate. It's been, and I'm drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
You said the teeth, but that's a different thing. Speaking slower.
That's about getting insulted for your looks.
Oh, you're being too critical of yourself. Look at this. Hey, after beer number 3, I'm still on it. Sharp I am. All right, anywho. No, it's like, yeah, the overcritical thing. Like, for example, do you know, like, you said, like, oh, I had a lisp here. Like, is it that minute, Like, for example, like, I had, like, you think about it, because I had a podcast with Quack, and he was saying on the podcast like that how he wanted to improve, and what he was doing, and one of the things he was doing was say less, and I was like, all right,
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
That's a great one.
I say
Oh, bro,
conversations,
I
like,
say
stuff
all
like
the time.
Too much. It's like you know how that that's crazy. Like.
Oh, I say it at the end of sentences.
Oh, okay.
That's my thing.
I say it everywhere. I say it everywhere too much. The filler words, they're very, very hard to eradicate from not just your commentary, but your everyday life.
Tell me about it.
And look, it's difficult. I don't think it's an issue. Everyone does it. The top commentators in the world for every sport do it. You just have to make sure to not make it the same word and not repeat yourself over and over. That's another thing you could add to the list, maybe, of things you need to notice about yourself to not doing commentary. Make sure you're not repeating yourself, not repeating the same terms, not going over and above, making the same point.
Yeah.
Like, as you say, I'm saying like too much. That's a good one. Saying like in sentences.
Yeah, like
when I do too much as well. There's a couple.
Like, so what do you think? Like,
Exactly. That I do too much. Still.
But I haven't noticed that. Honestly,
it's a good one to pick up on.
But like,
to try and eradicate.
I completely agree with Quack. I was on the podcast with him, and I was like, "Hey, that's very wise of you that you do that. We should all look at that." And then I was editing the podcast, and I was like, "Shit, man, shut up!" I was saying to myself because like I was saying every 5 seconds, and I've been working on that right now. So, but we'll see what I'm gonna cringe at when I edit this. But what are you? How? Just so you can help me and maybe the viewers too, because this is mostly me just talking to you. I feel like, how do you get rid of those words? How do you just remind yourself?
I don't know, mate. I'm not there. I'm not there yet. But just the small things that you've touched on is, don't be afraid to listen to yourself back. Don't be afraid to think to yourself, okay, I can work on that. As I said with the negativity in your own mind of how you think you did, whether if you can still look back on it and say, yeah, okay, I can work on that. I can remove that from my vocabulary. I say that too much. I can work on it and move on and try and be cognizant of it the next time you do a big game. Because look, the truth is, when you do so many online games like I've been doing over the last week and going into the next week as well, you will repeat yourself a lot. You will say the same things. You will make the same points because, firstly, that's your job. You have to, because there'll be different viewers coming in to watch different games all the time. So you have to continue to make the same points for different people. The top analysts and commentators in every sport in the world have had to repeat themselves thousands of times, talking about points for different time slots in a day, in a broadcast, right? But yeah, like, it's something that if you do lots of games in a row, you'll notice, but it doesn't matter that hugely when it's just these online games that you're grinding out as your everyday job. So I would say just don't get in your head too much about that aspect of it. These filler words aren't too bad. And at the end of the day, if you want to eradicate them, it would slow down your sentences a lot and maybe make you overthink words to finish a sentence too quickly, or maybe something like that, right? So just don't be afraid to use the filler words as long as they're not obvious.
No, that's like, I feel like I just said them all, I think. But the thing I feel like I already made a lot of progress by not saying as much as I did in the last podcast. I feel like I said it like 50% less, which is a big step. And now next time it's gonna be another 50, which is only 25% of the problem. So like that's how it goes, and that's good. But I'm curious, and this is gonna be a real life example for me. This problem that I have, which is, and I think it fits perfectly with what you're doing right now by going on such a journey that is so weird, in the form of I'm gonna be a video game caster and I'm gonna live off it. Like, this wasn't a job 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. That doesn't exist. That's not what we humans are meant to be. And
you'd be surprised though these days. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
you'd be surprised these days how many people even my Uber drivers to airports when I've flown out for events have been like, Oh, where are you going? I'm going to Sweden for work. It's like, oh, what do you do? I do sports commentary, but for video games. It's like, oh, what video game, bro? Counter-Strike. Oh, I remember Counter-Strike from like back in the day. Like lots of people, like Counter-Strike's a legendary game. More people than you think have heard of CS, are aware there's some kind of professional scene, and know and think, oh wow, you get to talk over it, you get to commentate it. That's really cool, man. It's not as niche as it used to be, which is great.
Yeah, but it's because it's such a brilliant game. You know, it's
Exactly.
we love talking about Counter Strike here, and it's like the no Counter Strike. Luckily, I think it's growing every day, every tournament, every time. The I think Counter Strike is growing every time, and we're getting more players, and then we got a new
fans
game.
for the pro scene, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I'm very happy with that. So that's why that's one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, I finally have to just bite the bullet and get into the YouTube game or esports because like I was getting in love with Counter Strike in 2017 and then started watching Counter Strike non-stop. Like I would have to get HLTV out and just like look at it, you know, every 4 minutes, see like what's happening, you know. And I would talk to friends that were like Counter-Strike and watched a little bit of esports, but I would like say like, oh, this is epic because of this and this and this, and they said like, why don't you make YouTube videos? Like, no, there's no point. But then I was like, you know, you can actually, this is a possibility. This is actually something that people like, and you know, going on a tangent here, something you shouldn't do if you're a professional caster, but with the rise of AI,
podcast, mate, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
a podcast. It's fine.
True, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling there. But with the rise of AI, you know, like everybody's jobs can be stolen. But there was this, I think it's the owner or the ex-owner of Reddit who was like, you know what, I'm gonna sell all my stocks in Reddit, and I'm gonna invest heavily into female sports because that's growing. And I was like, that's crazy talk. But he said because of the AI, people's job, there's going to be a lot of people losing their jobs, but something that's not going to go is sports, because that's a deeply human thing of showing which people are the best at doing this singular thing. And then I was like, if that's true, maybe I should talk about professional Counter-Strike players, because that's not something that's going to go. Because I was doing filmmaking and writing, and I'm still doing it, but it's such an scary thing that can easily be stolen, not because I think that AI can be as good as a writer as a person, but because the producers who have the money like money more than they like the art. Look at all the superhero movies, you know. But so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go focus more on this Counter-Strike thing, because I already had a natural love for it. But
did you like me? Did you love any sport before you got into esports? Do you have a love for any regular sports as such?
No, I didn't have a love for any, like just football. You know, you're forced.
Okay.
You live in Western society, so you're forced to watch football.
True.
You know, and I like football.
Enough.
Football's I think
sorry.
a great sport.
Random question. Random question.
Come at me.
You can go back to your point now.
Oh no.
That was the question.
I finally get a question. It's been what 50 minutes or something. No. I've been in love with NFL as of late, and I'm really like getting my teeth in there. But no, I didn't have a love for anything. Counter-Strike was the first thing actually that awakened like the competitive spirit into me, and it was like, oh, it's really cool to work as a team, work together, build something, get your goal across the board. And then from that I understand the competitiveness and started to appreciate sports overall. So I don't know why it was Counter-Strike that was that. I think that's a bit more oh, there we go, again. Random, but that's just how it is, you know. But let's go back to you, like you saying like fan of like Formula One, you know, like now that we are on the topic, are you annoyed that Max Verstappen is kicking Lewis Hamilton's ass?
There are different places in their career, mate. This is all it is.
Oh, yeah.
They had their 2021 moment. Lewis will always have 7. Max will have Probably not as many as 7 because he'll probably quit the sport before he gets there. I'm fine with that. 2021 happened, 2021 happened, whatever. It's consigned to the history books. I'm not one of those guys that says, "Oh, he has 8. Lewis has 8." No,
well, they were in different places in their careers because Max Verstappen was just beginning and Lewis Hamilton was in the far better car. So
Yeah. Look, I mean, Lewis has been. I'm a huge fan and always have been since I was very young. Ever since he came into the sport in 2007 when I got hooked, that's when I became a fan of his from day one. And yeah, it's not like I've become a fan recently or I've just always liked him. Whatever he's done, I've always been a supporter. It doesn't mean that I hate Max. I know you're Dutch. I'm not just saying that because you're Dutch. I'm genuinely being serious here. I've grown to like Max a lot more in recent years. I think he's come out as a person a bit even better. And put it this way, I would prefer him to win the World Championship over Lando Norris, even though I'm a Brit. I'd want Oscar Piastri and Max to win over Lando actually at the moment, and unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But yeah, like I've been a huge fan of F1 for a very long time, as I say, since like 06, 07, and I just love the way I've always loved cars, and I think that transitioned into Formula One very early in my life. And just seeing how Lewis performed in 2007 and what he did with that car early in his career and how he performed against Alonso, who I still love as well, Fernando Alonso, big fan of his as well. I love the old drivers that give me nostalgia.
Yeah,
in the modern day, of course.
We're gonna go really further down the path but I don't give a fuck. This is the last call here at the end of the podcast. Just so you know, the last call is when they ask for the last drinks. I don't know if you know that because you don't drink.
Don't worry, mate. I've been in my fair share of pubs. I know exactly what that is.
No, I'm fucking with you. What is your dream car? Because I'm certain that I have a completely different dream car than you.
Oh, almost certainly. So I actually have quite a weird dream car as such. People could say Ferrari, like Koenigsegg or Pagani or anything crazy like that.
Audi R8.
Poster boy, poster bedroom wall car, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I actually really want a Jaguar XKR, one of the 2006, 2007 models. It's just a really sleek, nice car. I saw a Top Gear review of it when I was very young. Again, I love Top Gear since I was very, very young. Not the only one in the world who loves Top Gear, that's for sure.
Nope.
But the Jaguar XKR, probably one of my favorite cars, like the 06, 07 model, just a really good looking car. And I feel like it's affordable. I could get one day if I wanted to, and it's going to become, I think it's aged really well as well, which is why I think it will continue to do so, and why it's a car that I still kind of want even now.
I mean, I see it here right now. Put it up on the podcast because it's a beautiful car. I mean, now I want to talk about Top Gear because that's also something I just love.
Okay, so firstly, what's your dream car? You said Audi.
Thank you, because that's what you look at it as a professional, people. Like I was saying, I wanted to say my absolute dream car is a Rolls-Royce Phantom from before 2015. Weird. All right,
I'll give you it. It's weird, but I appreciate weird.
It's so sick. It's so long and big, and I want it black. All right, that sounds weird, but like, I love the blockiness of it. The more blocky it is, the better. It's amazing. And the funny thing is, I don't need a driver. I want to drive it myself. I want to drive it myself. So that's my dream car. Top Gear. I love the specials. Like I like cars.
Legendary TV.
I like cars. I'm not a petrol head. It's just a case. I don't care that much about cars. But these guys make cars so much more interesting that I'm walking around town. I'm like, that's a pretty nice car, and I think it's their doing. But do you care about the specials as much as I do? Because like, what do you think is one of your favorite specials? Do you? By any chance, no? Because you didn't expect me to ask this right now. I can tell you that.
Bolivia special, Polar special.
The Polar special, that was amazing. Good. The one in the Mongolia, where they made their own car. Vietnam. Botswana.
I think the Botswana, and because obviously how they ended the Grand Tour as well. That
was a beautiful episode.
I think Botswana and Bolivia are the two that come to mind to me as like really cool ones. But
is Bolivia the truck one?
I think it was the 4x4 one. I'm pretty sure, maybe the truck one was.
No, it
I know what you
probably
mean about the
is.
truck
Yeah, the
one.
Bolivia, the truck one was in Asia.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, like to just give you an idea of my fandom of certain things, like stuff I've loved over the years that I've gone through different phases in my life, right?
Yeah.
Like young me, Club Penguin. Slightly older me, Minecraft.
Oh, I love Minecraft, me then.
Then we transition into FIFA,
Oh yeah.
Counter-Strike, and to where we are today. I went crazy, and you can see stuff behind me with that, like my Counter-Strike collection of stuff. Top Gear. I have like a full set of trading cards from that show.
Top Gear.
Yeah, like in my bedroom in a drawer, I have a full set of like Top Gear trading cards that were released in the UK.
What is that? What even is that? You get 14 James Mays or cars?
But it's the cars that were featured on the show and what like episode they were featured on. It's the specials which made you remind me of them. Like I had little cards showing the 3 cars they would all have on their specials.
Oh shit!
A special Stig card,
yeah,
special presenter cards,
yeah,
special super cars that have been like top of the power lap board and all that sort of thing.
That's so sick.
I have a collection of those that I still have to this day.
Oh.
Like football cards, like you'd have a football.
Yeah, no, I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. I like Jeremy Clarkson, man. If you probably do you have a Jeremy Clarkson gold?
I do have a Jeremy Clarkson card, yeah. But yeah, listen, he's a bit controversial. He's always been that way.
Oh
but,
yeah.
Look,
that's why we like him, no?
Clarkson's Farm is Clarkson's Farm is also excellent, which I urge anyone to watch, even if you don't know anything about farming.
No, but that's how you feel to farming is how I feel to cars. I actually have a little bit experience from farming. Because half my family of my dad's side is all farmers, so I respect the trade. But yeah, Minecraft. I wanna know how you enjoy Minecraft. Like, what is your? Because like what I like, I'm a very vanilla guy. I don't do all these mod things.
I don't do mods. No. Me too.
But like my favorite thing in Minecraft, like one of the dearest memories I have is the first times playing and everything is new, of course, but also when I built my house, and it has to be a nice house, and I want to go outside, but it's raining, and I'm like, it's raining in Minecraft. I don't want to do it. So I go back inside and I go sit by my fireplace and I just sit on the one of the chairs I built, and I just sit there for like 10-15 minutes until the rain stops, and then I go around my day.
That's a very, very good amount of patience that you have there to be willing to wait for the rain to end rather than just typing like /end in creative or whatever.
I don't do that. I don't do that. Vanilla. I keep it real, man. I keep it real.
Vanilla boy. I mean, look, I don't know if I can show you. Like, just turn my camera around. This is my Minecraft shelf here. I've got
my
little
god!
Figures and stuff. Like,
what's that potion? Is that a normal potion? A grey potion?
It's a light up one.
Oh.
It lights up, so I can.
Oh my god, man.
I mean, I don't know if the batteries are still there. I might take them out these days, have I? I don't know. Let's see.
Is it blue?
No,
oh, it's blue. Oh!
Color.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I'm jealous, man. I wish I had some. I have some Warhammer up here. That's my other stupid obsession I've been getting into. And cereal.
We all have them.
Yeah,
we all have them.
Got a cereal wall here. Now they're just showing. This is a secret for all the people.
Oh, a collection of cereal boxes. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I think it looks like a nice art piece. Like that. That Campbell soup art piece of in the 4 different colors. It's art.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Anywho, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know why.
Yeah. Anyway,
I feel bad about showing my cereal box now, but yeah.
It's fine. I've listed my passions. I've listed Top Gear stuff. I'm happy to move on to whatever next subject you might have.
Well, the CS:GO wall there, is that event you also went to? I coincidentally have the chicken there and the case, and I have some of the pins.
The chicken in the case I got from Cologne actually, one of the years. The pins you can see here. Hang on, how do I do this?
Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah, the pins are from when I went to the HLTV Awards and got them as like little gifts you could pick up.
Yeah, exactly. That's not something I've seen before. Like the ones on the corkboard in the back, that's Valve official, but then the front, I don't think so.
The corkboard one has loads of official ones, and ones from majors that I've attended. You can maybe see like a Face It major one, Overpass.
Oh shit.
Like some from Copenhagen too. The knife is something I just got from a random website like Etsy or whatever that makes like these like 3D printed knives.
Yeah.
Very cool. this lamp with like my actual like name on it. Something
Yeah,
that
I
was
just wanted to
gifted
say,
by a
yeah, that's
friend.
nice.
Like you can see this again, a couple of pins that are from Etsy or whatever. The gold chain is the thing from Shanghai. I didn't go to the Shanghai Major, but I got it gifted by a friend.
You got an
The
AK
gold chain.
frontside Misty.
It's actually a Vulcan, but I agree with
Ah,
you. It looks like a frontside Mystic.
is it not? I am just guessing. That was a wild guess. I remember it being a Vulcan. I remember that, but I don't know what the
Yeah,
frontside
it's
Misty.
again a little like display
Oh,
piece.
with the stickers on. Is that like from your real life skin or something?
It's not a real life. It's not a skin I have in game.
Oh,
It's just one that I saw on sale, and I was like, oh, that could be a cool little addition. I have a Aquamarine Revenge in game.
oh, that's also nice. That's a nice skin. It's not expensive. Well, everything is expensive now. These skins.
I
These
ruined
skins are
it.
ridiculous.
There we go. To make sure it's not ruined. Make
And of
sure
course,
everything's set up.
no, I like it.
Correctly.
I like it. Like people
And
in the
also, sorry, go on. Let you finish,
people in
my
the
bad.
Twitch stream is like, hey, did someone move that AK Vulcan in the background? They can start crying. And I see the
Yeah.
McLaren in the background there too.
Yes, the McLaren. Yeah, move my microphone so you can see it. Yeah, the Lego McLaren, Lego Technic McLaren. Up here at the very top are some mouse pads. I've got a Hyper Beast one, a Howl one. There we go. You can see it now.
Oh yeah, nice.
A Howl one, and the new Steel Series one, the Dragon Law one,
Oh, I saw that one. Oh, those are
which is very nice.
pretty nice, but expensive. I thought like
Yeah.
80, 90 euros or something.
It was yeah. It was I think I got it as a birthday present though. So
It's a good present. It's a good
wasn't-
present. If
I
someone
bought
wants
it
to
with,
get
like,
me a
half the
present,
money
get me
I
that.
earned. True and real. And unfortunately, like I've actually got them all in covers right now to protect them. But behind me is all my. Let me just see if I can move so you can see.
Yeah, I
More
was curious,
Minecraft
but I
stuff,
thought they were your suits or something.
more Minecraft stuff below, as you can see.
Yeah, I
But
noticed that. I saw it.
in the covers, mostly all Counter-Strike clothing. So let me see if I can list it out. You won't be able to see it, unfortunately, but I can just give you an example. So here, this is like something from Apex Legends. This is Formula One stuff. In here, we have an Eternal Fire hoodie, a G2 hoodie, and I think a Mouse hoodie. In here, we have Cloud9, Into the Breach, and I can't
Do you
remember what the
collect
middle one
these, or
is.
do you get these?
I collect them and I wear them every now and then.
Nice. Hey, me too, man.
Some of them are just really, really nice, right?
I mean, the Cloud9
forgot-
hoodie, amazing. I think they look amazing.
Yeah, it's actually a really nice old style one. But yeah, so and in here we've got some other like regular. I think I've got like a Vitality, like quarter zip with a Furia jacket, and the Furia jacket's really cool. One of my favorites actually. Some old hoodies in here, and then we go jerseys in these at the end. So we've got Spirit, Mongols, Fnatic, Gamer Legion, G2, Navi. Oh, there's definitely more, and those are the jerseys, but they're like shirts as well. You know, like ESL's
Yeah.
CS collection, like the CS shirt and the other ones with other nice designs.
The
on
Kappa
them.
thing, I think.
The cap is over there, yes. So, yeah, I don't know if you can see. I'll maybe just put there you go.
And all the hats too.
That's my Formula One cap collection, and the CS hat is
Oh,
above
and I see a
that,
nuke,
at the
man.
top.
You're living the good life, man. You got it
Yeah, I
all,
mean,
man.
these are the things. Look, these are the things that I've collected since I was like 12 years old. So it's things that from when I was very young. But
I mean,
but yeah,
yeah, I got a Team Liquid jersey over there. Love that. And I got
that's
a
one of the ones I don't
cologne.
have.
The
You
best.
beat me on that one.
Hey, what's up? I actually got 3 of those hoodies. I got a black one, you know. I got an official one.
Nice.
And I got a I Am Cologne shirts where I watched the best final in the history of Counter-Strike. FaZe Clan versus Navi. Best final.
And you, Cologne 22 or 23?
Yeah, I think you were there, man. You were there then.
I was there, but was it 22 or 23? I forget. 22, right?
I think so.
I think.
Yeah, because...
Yeah. The twists drop from
Yep.
mini into main.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, from top mini into the A bomb side.
yeah, great
Famous.
stuff. Speaking of favorites, do
Yeah.
you have some favorite calls? And I first wrote this question for you, as in, what are your favorite calls that you know, like, I nailed that shit. You know, I got the perfect play, and I fucking had the best call for that thing. But it can also just be did you, like the machine saying, "Oh, Nico, stop blowing my mind on cash," like, because I love that one, and of course the simple no scope, like, please feel free to answer this question any way you see fit.
I mean, listen, all of those are really, really good. There are some that are weird. It's not one that people maybe think of too much. When answering this, but firstly, what all the ones you suggested and all the legendary ones that come to mind, obviously, like Snacks, Big Apple,
Oh,
on Cobblestone.
Mhm.
I talking about favorite teams earlier, just as a little diversion. That was my team back then. Old school VP. They still have my heart to this day.
Polish,
Snacks,
right?
Pasha,
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
The Snacks, Pasha, Neo, Bialy, Taz team. Still my favorite team ever. I think probably in CS.
I can see that.
But yeah, that was an incredible call. The Sadakist, Snacks is hungry, Big Apple and Snacks is hungry. All the ones you mentioned, love them all. The one that I think is pretty underrated, that people don't really talk about that much, is the one where Carrigan gets the knife kill in Antwerp on Dust 2 against Spirit, maybe? And Harry and Hugo are casting it, and Harry, I think, goes, and here in the Diamond City, he's going huge, he's going nuclear. Oh! And then Carrigan gets a knife kill to end the series and beat Spirit, and then they make it through to the grand final. I have to look that one up because it's not one that people think about too much. But it's not. It's again, it's a bit of a random one, but it's just one that came to mind right now, so I thought I'd say it.
I was there, and I don't remember it, man. So that's a deep pick, and something from yourself that you can remember, and like if I can find a clip.
One of the things I do is actually I save any play-by-play or big moment in commentary that I think has been like something hilarious, something funny, or just something I think I've done really well. I've saved them. I've got a folder on my Google Drive of clips from 2021 to the present day of lots of commentary stuff I've done. There is definitely a few that I've been pretty happy with. There's one I did when I was covering a heroic game in IM Fall 2021, which I was quite proud of because that was my biggest event when I was that early into my career. Proud of one of the games I did there. There's a couple at the Thunderpick World Championship that I was commentating last year, the one where I wasn't in person, when I was actually commentating, not on the desk. I was just quick browse through. Actually, now I mentioned those clips to you.
I was thinking of hiding this, but I'm not gonna do it. I actually had to take a wee halfway through the show, and I thought, after chugging 3 beers, in the last an hour, it's just natural. But like I was like, have to be professional. You don't, but like there's no ad breaks. There are ads, but not for me. There are no breaks for me. But then I was like, you had to do long streams and have to be on broadcast. What do you do if you have to go? Do you have like a bucket or something?
No. So basically, if it's actually urgent, I very rarely get caught short. Very, very unlikely. I don't think I ever have actually. But what I would do is I would message if I was solo casting. I would do it in the halftime break and just rush and get back in time, probably.
Yeah.
If I was with a duo, I'd message my duo in direct messages and say, can you just cover for a minute? I'll be back. Just need to go to the bathroom. Simple as that. It's not too difficult.
Yeah, I didn't have a duo, so, I cannot have someone stand in for me while they're talking to you.
I know.
All right.
It's unfortunate.
Let's look at these, because I'm curious about these highlights.
With just a P2K, how do you even commit to one, and who do you choose? With the top mid player in Vinny, there's a double headshot, there's the angle, great crosshair placement, and an incredible spray into spawn.
That's good, that's solid, that's I mean, that's
nice.
It's just, it's not the craziest moment.
No,
but it's...
I just think that when I'm happy, when it's clean is when I'm really happy with it, right?
Exactly.
There was a Monazy 1v2 that I did in Pro League, and that was fine. But again, like I'm more happy with that when I've just got everything that I've wanted to say right than just a regular 1v2 that was a kind of a free clutch from Monazy, which wasn't like massively hype, right? So
yeah,
I think some of my best events I was happy with were probably ESL Young Shipping in person. And this IM Rio event that I'm showing you some clips from now. I think that those are probably the two events that I've done, which I have been very happy with my play-by-plays in general. So
yeah, I mean like that last one was like the moment wasn't as epic, but the calling was perfect. That made the play solid. Like it was a perfect cast. I think that one.
Yeah. I did a Nilo 1v5 once in an ESL Challenger qualifier match. So like when you really like hype it up to the extra level, it's it's pretty cool. And I think in general, as I said, like those 3 or 4 events, Thunderpick at home last year, IM Rio, and ESL Challenger in Stockholm, Sweden. Those without a doubt for me are the 3 events where I've looked back on. I've saved the clips that I think are worth saving afterwards. I've watched them back and thought, okay, I'm making progress and I'm happy with where I'm at. You can never be totally content with where you're at because that's when you fall behind, right?
Exactly.
You can't be like, yeah, that's
can't be complacent.
You can't be complacent. But I was, in general, content with my work in all those 3 events, and I think they're good, very good examples from those events of what I'm all about.
I mean, it's funny, like it's the thing of like you have to be happy about yourself, about what you did, but then it's this funny thing. Like I know, like when I do something good, when I write a good script or make a good video or have a good set, then it's good. Be happy about that. But then in a week or 2, it disappears, and then you have to get to the next one. It's this weird, rat race you always have to go for. Speaking of the rat race, the next one.
Go on.
128, you say?
Yeah, Famas, who reacts for 1, needs 2, gets 2, even 3 and 4.
Nice little Halzerk clip there. Always like myself some Halzerk.
Here's one from Rigon in one of the Thunderpick games I did.
Rigon
He was playing on Big.
I was so sad that Rigon didn't work out in Big Clan. I was actually kind of hyped for that.
Try and make the way through short in the end. That's huge from Luchov. Goodness gracious me. Blink and you'll miss it. Bestia will reach 12, and then Rigon will complete another insane clutch. He's found 1. He knows there's a sight player. You're over-peaking a little bit here, boys. Be careful. They are getting pinned in. Now Rigon, they've got him pincered, but he's read it. He's red now. He's coming in from behind, and he's still 100 health here, Rigon. Trying to use new box. He's found that one as well. And now Nox, he's the last one along, and he can hold this. He's got a defuse kit. Not like this, Bestia. Rigon's going to win the round. Can you Adam and Eve it? How?
Can you Adam and Eve it? Oh, I love that. That's good stuff.
This guy's faded into obscurity now. I think he's just gone back to doing whatever he was in his regular life. But this is a clutch from ZDR when I covered G2 at Pro League.
ZDR?
ZDR, yeah. Tyloo player. Former Tyloo player.
Yeah, I don't
temporarily
remember him at all. And I know Tyloo quite well. When the hell did he play for them? Alright, let's see if I can play this.
Oh, they are actually shifting the bomb back now toward Munazi, but that's a swing and a half. Unfortunately, it's Mr. Hooksy. Oh, he gets 2. They actually do a double take there, and Hooksy almost took all 3. But the call comes quick, unfortunately, for Tyloo. And ZDR is in a 1 versus 3. Plenty of time for him to get the bomb planted and repositioned, but he's got Hunter and Nico hand in hand in Banana ready to face. Finds 1 and the second. Hang on a moment. 45 health still intact. Next looking to swing, and ZDR. That's a round to remember in Malta for him.
Yeah, that's who is this guy? I don't remember ZDR.
He's completely faded into obscurity now. I think he's like does studies like in China and doesn't play Counter-Strike anymore, to my knowledge.
Shame, that was pretty sick.
But the afterplant is so hard to recover. They've got so much utility though, Tyloo. Can they keep their calm in such a difficult situation? In come the flashes. That's a great shot from Sunpius. He's delivering again. But Jamyoung, such a late connector lurk. He's going to see Sunpius easily, but there's no way you guess Dupree in the same position. There's going to be a tap on the bomb. It's actually being held by ZDR right now. They can't find it! And Tyloo, at the last time of asking, have taken Mirage away from Falcons. Incredible!
See Tyloo winning. Tyloo stay winning. It's
stay winning,
are you aware of like you must be like stretching your tone here and there, like going a bit higher there and then going lower and then slowing down and everything. Like how aware are you all the time?
That's one of the things I was in that Tyloo Falcons clip. I was very aware of just taking my time of building up the end of the round, the possibility of a clutch, the possibility of a retake. I knew it was half time, so I knew. Oh, actually, it wasn't half time. Was it the end of the map? Wasn't it?
Yeah, end of the map.
Yeah, it was the end of the map. It was the winning the map. So I knew I had to build it up to a crescendo to end the entire map and throw it over to my co-caster who would then analyze the round. Or maybe I think it might have been a break rather than my co-caster. But either way, whether you're throwing to a co-caster or throwing to a break, you do have to build it up if it's an exciting moment, or have a good way to throw to the break.
Yeah.
And that was a good way of ending it on the incredible, right?
I mean, it was a great way.
It's
solid.
One of the
I mean,
things I
genuinely
haven't
great.
been able, one of the things I haven't practiced as much of is the raspiness that Scrawny can do so well when it's big moments in tournaments, right? Like incredible, like stuff like that, right? I haven't got that level of my voice yet to where I feel comfortable I can do so. That way I said incredible at the end of that clip was kind of as far as I would go in terms of incredible, something like that. So
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's just fascinating. It's just a look into a different world, you know. It's really interesting.
like how a caster thinks about what they've done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
exactly.
funny because we all the viewers think like, oh, this is just a guy that's excited about Counter-Strike. Like he's just talking about Counter-Strike. He sees things and he says it in an exciting way, but we don't necessarily think he's like, oh, I'm gonna go faster and then slow down and I'm gonna build it up here and then I have to slow down a little bit here and then I go high. You know, like that's so fascinating.
Electronic is up. Oh, that's an incredible shot on Blitz. And he knows there's a long player too. James found 9-10. I can't believe it. Or does he know there's a long player? Mzinho got to commit to it. Oh, the bomb's gone down. He didn't deny it. It actually sets up James for a clutch now. If that is denied, then this is a completely different complexion of the round for James. Now he has an opportunity. Mzinho and Techno. And that's the first on Mzinho. This could be classic James coming in here. Techno's burning down to 42. No kit available, of course, as well. And look how far James has fallen back to. He's jump spotted him. He's seen him again. More molly damage. Another tap. But James is just set up for it. And once again, he delivers. Everything that could feasibly go right for VP has.
I mean, again, a great clip. Yeah, just like, yeah, it's funny because like I don't care about VP at all, but like you were making me excited.
Yeah, exactly,
for
right?
VP.
It's all about making the viewers as excited as possible, right? If it's teams that they want to watch, like people want to watch the Mongols, people don't want to watch VP, really, do they? So
I love watching the Mongols.
Yeah.
I don't like watching the VP. Like I knew I was watching this game and I was rooting for the Mongols. I know I was.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
sure.
can completely understand why these are one of your favorite bits. Because
They're
like,
totally again. I just looked down my list at 2024 to see what I'd done then, because I know I did 2 events I was very proud of. They are kind of just random. I'm sure if I dug a bit deeper and I prepared beforehand, maybe I'd find more for you. But yeah, these are ones that I remembered off the top of my head looking at 2024. So I think I am one of the few people that has gone back and saved this sort of thing. I think it's a rare thing for commentators to do, just because I care about my craft, you know. So I just really care about the history and keeping track of that history and how far I've come.
I mean, I think that's the right way. And I say like, you know, if people are interested in seeing more of Trav's best, you know, calls, go check out his YouTube channel, Trav CS, if I'm correct. And maybe, you know,
Trav CS on YouTube and on Twitter as well, yeah.
Yeah, go check it out. Maybe you can make like a video, like putting them all like Trav best 2023 plays. I mean, why not? You know, put it out there. That's your portfolio, you know.
I've considered it for sure.
I think that's good stuff. Yeah, you probably need like permission from the tournament organizer. I don't know how that works. Oh, that's another question I had. Oh, there we go.
Go on.
One last question.
One last question, and then we can close properly, and I'll do all the shout-outs and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it, mate. Let's do it.
What is the industry like? Like, you are a freelancer, I presume, but do you have contracts with tournament organizers? And how far in advance do you actually know you're actually covering a tournament? Like, is it like, oh, we have a tournament in 2 weeks, go cost, and then you have to drop everything just to do it, you know? Or do you have contracts with a tournament organizer for a year? And an extra asterisk on that question is like, and that goes back, we go full circle here, there's sometimes a shady org, you know, like you have to sometimes deal with it, you know, like I saw that you also were casting Yala Campus, who, you know, went bankrupt earlier this year. How did that go? You know, like it's a tricky thing, I believe.
Okay, so I can give you like a summary, a very quick summary of that for that question. I probably. So every TO is different in terms of when you get hired and what for. ESL have usually hired me in pretty decently in advance for things, maybe a couple of months for the big events that I've done, like in like ESL challenges and in from home B streams for big events like IEM Rio, like I've shown you. Definitely like 3-4 months. Sometimes at the beginning of a calendar year, they would book me for something in like the Rio. I think was in October from memory.
Wow.
So they would book me that early. For the big events, you do get an idea that early. The Thunder picked Malta this year. I think it was like, I mean, I can even give you the ballpark figure. I think it was like 2 or 3 months. I was messaged beforehand.
That's still pretty
So
good, I feel like.
yeah,
I
2 months.
expected
So
worse.
it was 2 months for Thunder pick when I got it confirmed. So I had time to prepare. For online events, it can be anything. I mean,
Yeah.
literally before we went live, I was getting messages about standing in for someone who couldn't do a game tomorrow in CCT. So literally, I got an extra hire for a 12 o'clock game tomorrow and the day after, but just before we went live. So it could be any time from a week in advance to 24 hours in advance for online stuff. But that's kind of the life of being a freelancer at that sort of level. You need to take the opportunities when you get them.
Yeah.
And the Yellow Compass, the Yellow Compass situation, real unfortunate situation, not just for me and all the commentators, but also for everyone else who worked behind the scenes. NGES is the production company behind it all. They also didn't get paid for however long. Thankfully, they've been nice enough to hire me for another event they're doing the production for, which is the Nodwin Clutch series, which I'm currently covering. They've been very kind to pay me quicker than they would normally pay me, which is usually net 30 days. You get paid for tournaments. Some are net 60, some are net 30. They paid me in a week, which is very nice of them considering the Yellow Compass situation. Yellow Compass owe me €4,000.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a shame because they were reliable beforehand. Not just a shame because that's money I'll never see. That $4,000 it'll be, it's consigned to the history books. In my invoice list on my Excel document I've got on my PC, it's listed as the only one ever in my career listed as unpaid and will be permanently unpaid, sadly.
Wow.
But they were reliable beforehand. That's why it's like it's sad.
That is a shame, yeah.
Just the end of the. Firstly, it was an important tournament. Thankfully, been replaced by Nodwin, but an important tournament in Tier 2 for commentators is to have that important side work, that injection of money over the course of a calendar year or a couple of months to at least give them rent and all that sort of stuff. Like, side note, I'm very grateful to be living at home. My parents are quite supportive. But like for lots of other people, they're not as fortunate as I am. They have to pay a lot more rent than I probably have to pay, etc., etc.
But it's also good people working at Yellow Compass that were, they didn't get paid, so they couldn't do their job of paying you.
Yeah, exactly. And in the end, I think one of the guys that's behind the whole operation is still tweeting about shit crypto coins on his own personal Twitter account and not even paying attention to any of us and looking to pay any of us the money that is owed us, right? Which is an absolute fucking joke, and I hope he gets what's coming to him one day.
All right.
But
yeah,
excuse me, as I'll say, just sad because beforehand, up until their like winter tournament or whatever it was, they usually paid. They were only really late once or twice of the 30-day payment, net 30. They usually paid, and they paid relatively respectably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be totally upfront and honest about it. It's one of the lower tier tournaments. The pay was about €100 a BO3, just to give you an insight as to what it could be for people who do a lot of online work. But that €100 a BO3 added up like very, very quickly to, as I said, near $4,000 over the course of a month of work.
Yeah.
And that was a very solid month of work that I didn't get in other months. As you know, like being freelance, you can have some months where you've got nothing at all, genuinely, and have some months where you're absolutely swamped. It's just the reality of the job. And yeah, to do so much work for them, so much stand-in extra work as a favor for them when other casters couldn't do a game, and I filled in for them, and to not get paid for any of that and be $4,000 out of pocket, it's sad.
Yeah.
But and very, very annoying. But the reality is, shit happens. It is what it is. And I'm in a fortunate position where it didn't badly hurt me in terms of my life situation. So.
And I'm surprised that it's only one. You say, like, you only said there's one unpaid invoice.
It is. I've been quite lucky. There are some TOs that have been definitely taking too long to pay me, but I mean, I'm not going to say who, but one of them is a net 60, and it's now a month over, and I've been chasing them up about it, and usually they pay. They will pay. They're a respectable
They will
TO,
pay.
but they will pay. They are respectable. But yeah, it's annoying for it to be a month over. There are some times where it's been a week over, and I've just chased it up to make doubly sure everything's okay. But yeah, as I said, very fortunate. There are other people who've been in the scene for much longer than I have, like an extra 5 years, who probably have 5 or 6 significant tournaments that have never paid them. And yeah, I've only ever had one that has not, which is lucky, shame, but lucky in a way.
Yeah, definitely. But that's sadly how the industry works.
It is.
And I can tell you this right now. You're not gonna get paid for this either. Sorry. But hey, it was lovely having you, Trav. I had a great
Pleasure.
chat, and you were just showing your favorite plays, or just some of them, some of the many. But I can say without a doubt that you were one of my favorite guests on the Counter Shots podcast. You were really interesting.
How many have you done though? How many have you done?
3.
Okay.
But you're top 3, bro. You're top 3. No, no, definitely. No, I had an absolute ton of fun talking to you about Counter-Strike, about the industry, about Minecraft, about cars. I mean, it's been a ball, and I would love to do this again. And I wish you all the best, and I wish you get that money from those people, and I wish you get the money from the other companies, even though that's a far shout. Speaking of shouts, do you have a shout out or a plug you want to do?
So yeah, I'll just say 2 things. Firstly, if you're interested in what I commentate and when, follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active when it comes to social media. It'll be at TravCS. My Instagram is also where I'm pretty active. I'll be TravCasts, CASTS with Trav before it. Those are my 2 most active social medias. I tweet quite a lot about the scene, especially I post quite a lot about the scene, especially on Twitter, about interesting things and what I'm doing and what I think is cool in Counter-Strike. And my Twitter's been doing pretty well, which I'm pretty happy about. My YouTube is, I think, also available to get to via TravCS. My Liquipedia page, I think, has a couple of those things as well. And the final shout out I'll do is to Ace Zone, who do a lot of headsets for tournaments that I cover. They do the profession. You see a lot of the pros wearing them when they're on stage with great noise cancelling and everything. They're wearing them right here. The Aspire Wireless is currently got a Black Friday deal. It's 40% off, and my code works with that. So if you put code TRAV at checkout, very rare for like a influencer code to work with a Black Friday deal. That gives you 50% off this headset, the Aspire Wireless, currently plugged in obviously, but you can use it wireless. One of the best headsets, and I'm not just saying that. I really like it. Very comfortable, very good quality, and yeah, if you use Trav at checkout, code Trav at checkout, you'll not only get extra money off, you'll also be helping me personally, as I do get a commission too, which is very important to me and would mean a lot. So if anyone wants a headset, I know it's can be a bit of money to invest in a new headset, but if you are looking for one, that's where I want you to go, please. Thank you very much.
Well, definitely, because my thing is falling apart by the seams, so I can definitely use one, and I can use 50% off too. The major's coming up. Are you doing a pick'em video? Because then
I'll be doing pick'em videos, and I'll also be going there. I will be in Budapest for the playoffs.
Oh, geez, Louise. All right, go check him out.
Not working it, but I'll be there.
Hey, that's you're gonna enjoy it even more. Trav CS. All right, thank you very much, and I enjoyed it a lot because I love talking about Counter-Strike, and if you do too, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. And I will see you in another video. Bye.